Hello all, my name is Howie Smith and this is my PowerPoint on a high incidence disability for ECUR 700, Diversity, Inclusion, and Theory. As you can tell from the title, my PowerPoint is about teaching students with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, commonly referred to as ADHD for short. Regarding the nature of ADHD, it is defined as a neurological condition that involves problems with inattention and hyperactivity that are developmentally inconsistent with the age of the child. And of course, this is a high incidence disability. The characteristics of it include, but are not limited to, decreased attention compared to their peers, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Regarding the causes of ADHD, there's been a lot of debate about whether it's genetic or not, but from my research, I have found that the causes are unknown. Sometimes it's genetic, sometimes it's non-genetic, sometimes it's psychosocial, and sometimes it just has to do with the neurobiological basis, like what's going on in the kid's brain. Regarding how it affects the brain, the student will have difficulty concentrating, and in addition to concentrating, they may have difficulty with planning and being organized, things like that. Regarding the range of severity, while some students' ADHD symptoms may not hinder them much in school, other students with ADHD may demonstrate additional symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and sleep disorder, and that smaller subgroup is at greater risk for serious long-term academic and social problems. Again, not every kid with ADHD has those issues, but some kids may be affected in that way. Interestingly, the legal definition of ADHD and the educational definition of ADHD differ a little bit. In the world of education, to qualify for special education services in the other health impairment category of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, commonly referred to as IDEA, it must be documented that the ADHD has had an adverse effect on educational performance. And for the legal definition, to qualify for special services under Section 504 of the Vocational Rehabilitation Act, it must be documented that the ADHD substantially limits learning. While the definitions may sound similar, the legal one is a little bit more serious because you have to prove that the ADHD substantially limits learning. The incidences of ADHD. In 2019, the CDC reported that 8.8% of children and adolescents ages 3 to 7 have been diagnosed with ADHD, and statistically, 8 to 10% of school-age children are affected by ADHD. Boys are reported to be about 3 times more likely than girls to be diagnosed with this disorder, but anyone of any age or gender can be affected. It does not discriminate. ADHD relates to IDEA because it is a disability, so it falls under that umbrella. And regarding those who are diagnosed versus undiagnosed, while children diagnosed with ADHD could be eligible for special accommodations in the classroom, those who are undiagnosed would not be eligible for them. Regarding how ADHD is diagnosed, parents, teachers, and other professionals are required to complete questionnaires, including written assessments of the student's behavior and rating scales of the severity of particular behaviors. Lastly, the 3 primary symptoms of ADHD are inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. Who is most susceptible to ADHD? Well, according to Adsrago, age, gender, race, and ethnicity all affect mental health, with males, older individuals, and racial/ethnic minority children at greater risk of disorders like ADHD. Also, parental unemployment and lower educational attainment have also been associated with a higher risk of ADHD. And ADHD can be genetic or non-genetic. Is ADHD related to environmental causes? Yes, it can be. Additionally, consciously arranging the classroom to meet the needs of children with ADHD can help teachers to significantly reduce distractions and increase opportunities for engagement. Are there geographic considerations? Not much. Researchers haven't really linked higher instances of ADHD to specific locations, as it can affect anyone, anywhere, and at any time of their life. There just simply isn't enough research about specific places that have higher ADHD levels than others. How are identification and assessments done? According to Taylor and Larson, children have to display several behavioral symptoms of hyperactivity, impulsivity, and/or inattention in more than one setting and over a 6-month period. Students with ADHD may also benefit from an individual education plan, also known as an IEP, and they could benefit from general classroom adaptations. Who serves on the team of specialists for kids with ADHD? Medical/behavioral specialists and teachers can assist kids affected by ADHD. Medical treatments. There are pros and cons. While ADHD medications can help those suffering from it, some educators and physicians argue that the side effects of medications can be harmful and that no students should be given them to control their classroom behavior. They believe in alternatives such as behavioral therapy. Common causes. Questions exist regarding the direct etiology, meaning the causes of ADHD, and the possibility that it could either be a neurodevelopmental disorder or simply a form of misbehavior. Because ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder, it is treatable but not curable. Regarding prescriptions, according to Mastro Pieri, as many as 2 million students with ADHD take psychostimulant medications such as Ritalin or Adderall to help control their attention and hyperactivity. Lastly, many children with ADHD qualify for accommodations and/or services under Section 504 of the Vocational Rehabilitation Act, or IDEA. These services can be very helpful to those functioning with ADHD. 3 effective teaching strategies for students with ADHD include giving small amounts of work, allowing breaks, and using positive reinforcement. Regarding what adaptations are necessary, adaptations that are designed to meet the specific needs underlying problem behaviors. Additionally, teachers can intervene by implementing different behavioral management techniques and strategies. Also, it's much easier for students with ADHD to grasp the material when teachers modify the assignments to suit their needs. Lastly, educators can implement these strategies by incorporating them into their daily lesson plans. Lastly, these are my reference pages, and thank you so much for watching and listening to my PowerPoint.